All right, my friends, welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and I have been reading some of the comments on some of those videos about the 9070 XT, and I gotta say that I am quite disappointed in a lot of people in the PC community. I'm very disappointed in you guys. So I get through and I start reading some of the comments, and you got people telling me that like how I'm building it's wrong, how I'm, how I choose to spend my money is wrong. Look, man, if I want to go out and buy a new motherboard and buy all the parts to like seriously just build it over and start over, dude, I'm perfectly okay to do that. I'm perfectly okay to do that. When you're running a business or you're running something or a channel or something like that, like you don't have a lot of time to sit and play around with stuff. The biggest thing is I had 2 new games that I needed to cover. And I wanted to get those done. Like I get it that from now on going forward, new PC problems and stuff like that absolutely are going to be content on the channel. Absolutely going to be content on the channel because it's something that obviously people want. People want to see that kind of stuff. But when I look at the PC community, I really do think that most of the shit, and I still think this, like no matter what problems I have or what I run into, I will always be able to, throw money at it. I will be able to do that. I will be able to, going forward, I might just seriously just stick to pre-builds. I might just going forward just buy pre-builds going forward, just because it's like I don't necessarily care, like, to tell you the truth. I would rather just, instead of like having to deal with all the building and all of that stuff at this point, I would just assume buy a freaking pre-built from one of the companies and review the pre-built and run the pre-built, because it doesn't even matter. That's what most people are stuck doing right now. Like I'm legit seeing GPUs being scalped and sold higher than the same GPU in a pre-built, the whole system. It's crazy. It's madness. And to think that like you can save more money just buying a pre-built than to actually go out and put your own PC together, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys. Like, yeah, I get that there is a massive sector in PC gaming that 100% revolves around like troubleshooting and all of that kind of stuff. And that's fine. That's perfectly good. That's awesome. There's people out there to help you. But I think that PC gaming in general is full of so many freaking wives' tales, and there's no one size fits all solution for everything. I was reading some of your guys' comments, and I've seen people, this one distinct comment was like, yeah, man, I bought a motherboard and it looks like somebody else had tried to update the BIOS. They screwed it up and I wasted 2 whole days on it. And then I got to a point where I just decided, you know what, I'm going to update the BIOS or roll them back or something. And then that worked. His PC booted right up. I've heard other people's talking about like Windows 10 copies, not being able to let them boot in, just so many different things. So there's so many different things out there that could cause these instability issues with PC gaming. Like there's just a lot. And it just so happened to be that I ran into whatever it was. Like I didn't even have time to sit and try to figure that out because I have a life, I have a family, I have a real, career, stuff like that. So it's like those things take precedent over my video gaming, sadly. Well, not sadly, like they take precedent over my video gaming. They just do. I spent most of the day out with my wife yesterday. And then when I got home, I played through South of Midnight. I'm uploading my whole whole playthrough on that. I don't think that a lot of people understand. They just want to drive by every comment section, drop their little hate, their little mean nonsense, and like what good does it do? What good does it do for you to come? Like honestly, start your own damn YouTube channel and tell me what pops into your mind first when you're feeling like you're under the pressure and you need to put out content. You tell me what you would do. Say look, put yourself in my situation. Like you have the money available, you have the resources available to just legitimately rebuild the PC, or sit there and try to troubleshoot when one of them could be, so basically is what I did was I bought all the parts. Like I literally, because of 24H2, thought that my motherboard or my CPU or something was going out because it would randomly crash. It would not boot up sometimes. It was giving me the lights, you know, on the motherboard. So I was like, look, you know what? I don't have time for this intermittent stuff. I need it to work. So I bought the motherboard first and I bought new memory. Actually, I bought new memory first, then I bought the motherboard. Okay? Actually, I bought them both at the same time, to be completely honest. And I was just going to switch those out. So then I got to a point where I was like, okay, well, I might need a new CPU and I might need a new SSD. So I bought those too. And I had them on hand when I was trying to, like, in case I needed to do that. Well, my other build now has a 2 terabyte SSD that I bought for the other one. I was able to upgrade and put more storage on that PC, which pretty much evens them out now. And then CPU, my son-in-law was wanting a 7800X 3D, so boom, there you go. I didn't even waste a whole lot of money. I literally just swapped out the motherboard because I didn't know. I didn't know what was going on. So. And I didn't have the time to sit and do all of that at the time. So it's crazy. And I've never once have I ever said on this channel that I'm a tech expert. Never once. Not one time. I've always just given you my experience. That was part of my experience, and you got it full on in your face. Look, this was my experience. It isn't no. I get called a fanboy all the time. No, dude, it's not a fanboy thing. And to be completely honest, that there was the biggest PC problem that I've had since, and that seriously eclipses everything that was giving me problems with the NVIDIA. The NVIDIA was pretty much like nitpick compared to that, to be completely honest with you. And yeah, you know, honestly, if this was the NVIDIA build, I probably would have made a way bigger deal about it. But I'm an AMD fanboy, so I'm not, you know what I mean? Look, I get that I've been pretty negative towards NVIDIA, and as you can see with all my recent content, that is pretty much behind us. All of that negative stuff is basically behind us. We're trying to move forward. We're looking for the future. We're just trying to cover the experience on both of them from a noob's point of view. And a lot of you guys seem to be upset about that, and it hurts you, and it triggers you, and it makes you very, very sad. Well, I'm sorry, man. I don't know what to tell you. I never once said I was a tech expert, so you can't get me on that. Like, I'm literally learning as I go, putting my own money on the line, not your money. I don't beg you for money. I don't ever get on here and be like, can you put money in the donation can? I don't have like an e-beggar sign behind me. I'm not a freaking e-beggar. Okay, I'm spending my own money to do this, and the only thing that I really get back in return is the ad revenue, and when companies send me free products. That's it. I don't beg you for money. I'm here creating content that I think that is valuable, because there's plenty of tech experts out there that know how to sell you NVIDIA stuff and all of that. I honestly do think that other tech experts should tell us if they have money invested in either AMD or freaking NVIDIA stock before. I think they should absolutely have to declare that, because then you would kind of maybe understand why they're things. Because I've used both NVIDIA and AMD. I cannot find a big enough reason to recommend NVIDIA over AMD. Like, I just can't. And obviously these are the kind of problems, you know, with a motherboard or memory or platform, you know, Windows. These are problems that anybody can have. Okay. And to tell you the truth, let's be real. Had I not had a channel, had I not been doing this stuff, and I had that whole build right there, 9070 XT, all of that experience would have been enough to be like, oh man, I'm switching, you know, like this, or, you know, that's enough to make somebody be like, I know that there's people out there that's enough to make them be like, swear off AMD right out the gate, easily. But we got it working, we got it fixed, we've got everything up and running. I've been using the PC ever since then. I literally just played through all of South of Midnight on there, no problems. Was recording and doing the Last of Us footage and everything. So yeah, guys, I do think that some people in the PC community should really be ashamed of themselves. They really should. The way they talk to people, the way they, you know, and I know it's because, like, I swear it's because, you know, I'm sitting here saying that, yeah, you got to understand, I've got like 37 years of console gaming, like 38 years of console gaming. And it's plug and play. Like, it's legitimately plug and play. And I've never, not once. I'm not even joking. Out of every console that I've ever owned, I've never had a console just literally legit stop booting. Never, not one time. And my whole time in gaming, I've never had a console just stop booting on me. Now, I've known people that have gotten like Red Ring of Death or the Yellow Light on PlayStation 3, but like PlayStation 4 and, you know, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, these have been good platforms. I've never had a console do any of this to me. Like, it's always just been there when I've wanted to play. And like, I can't say that about PC now. Like, I've legit ran into, like, you know, it's just crazy. So yeah, when I say something like, man, it's probably better off if I just went back to console, that's me saying that, like, look, guys, a console is significantly easier. It just is, and it works. Like, it's always worked for me. So when I say that and I look at the experience that I get on like a PlayStation 5 Pro or Xbox Series X compared to what I'm getting on PC, like the experience isn't so freaking drastic, especially, you know, like from a 9070 or 9070 XT or 5070 Ti to like a PlayStation 5 Pro or Series X. Like, the biggest difference is resolution, for real. And maybe some of the like higher quality ray tracing and all of that stuff. It's not enough to be like, yeah, dude, I'm gonna spend $3,000 on a PC when you can spend $500 to $700 on a console. Like, it's just crazy. It's madness. So, all right, my friends, if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. I just don't know what else to say.